Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. I mentioned last time around that we would be finding a new weapon, and here it is, the Widow Sniper Rifle. It is back in all of its widowy glory. So yes, I'll be using this for this entire episode, along with the Phalanx, my tried and true fallback weapon. Both to pretty good effect. If I'm going to use a single-shot sniper rifle, I would much prefer to use the Widow over the Javelin, simply because I don't have to deal with the stupid delay that you have to with the Javelin. Now you can take advantage of that delay, taking out a barrier engine here, very important, because you can cancel out a shot. You can uncommit. You can start to charge but then let go, and then you don't shoot. But it's a blessing and a curse, because you do have to compensate for that delay when you're firing. You do have to not only lead, but wait for that delay. So it definitely annoys the crap out of me. I don't know how people use it, but I'm sure plenty of people can acclimate far better than I can adapt, and get great use out of it. I'm sure the better snipers out there are wrecking face with it. But myself, I have never had to... I've used a lot of sniper rifles over the years, and I've never had one that had that sort of effect to it. So for me, it's just really difficult to get used to. And though I can get used to it, I'd just rather not, because I don't really like single-shot sniper rifles to begin with. So it's kind of a moot point. But I'm shooting these sacks, these egg sacks, these spore sacks, whatever they are, to act kind of like environmental damage bombs to just take care of some guys. I was looking for ammo. There doesn't seem to be any up here, so in a moment I'll be switching back to the Phalanx just to finish these last guys off. Right here I am not firing, and I'm firing so slow because I forgot I'm using the Phalanx. I'm used to using the arc pistol at this point, so I was trying to charge up a shot. If I can give you advice, I highly recommend not charging up shots on the Phalanx, as it is quite impossible. In a moment we will be coming to a pretty cool sequence, one that I enjoyed quite a bit all the way around, and getting more use out of the Widow. This is an unmodded Widow. I highly recommend you mod it to have extra capacity. In addition to... the other thing really doesn't matter, but just as long as you have the extra capacity, that will go a long way. This guy was just hiding by this ladder. Really didn't want to go down there.
Hit another one.
Wasn't sure if there was anything else around, and sure enough there was. There was a cannibal. And there didn't seem to be a lot of cover or places to run, so just didn't want to bother.
You hit one.
I know. Shut up, woman. I still say that the Phalanx is an excellent pistol. It's a great all-around weapon. It's essentially just a much better Predator at the end of the day. Don't know what happened there. I detonated... I guess it was frozen by a turret, and my Incinerate detonated it, but...
No choice.
whatever. So, here we go. I'm about to die, and you'll see that in a minute. It was pretty spectacular. I noticed there's a Banshee, so I'm trying to... I'm not sure what to deal with. I also noticed that there's a biotic engine, so I'm going to take that out in a moment. There that goes. But the Banshee doesn't seem to be doing anything, so I was kind of hoping just to kill the Marauders, then deal with the Banshee, because I know that the Banshee eventually is going to take me out of cover, and I don't want to get shot once that happens. So I'm kind of just ignoring her for the time being, but now she's pissed. And yes, you can get sync-killed to death with a Banshee, just like your party members. My brains. So there they go. That is that. I also notice, as you see in the left... Wait, there's a weapon there. Pray tell, is this a heavy weapon? In fact, it is. Well, that'll make things easier. Boom. Wait. I forgot to kill the barrier engine. Freaking hell. Well, whatever. I'm sure I can manage. Fortunately, she seems to be afflicted with stupid for the first part of this fight, as she's kind of just hanging back there and shooting warp bombs at that cover in front of her. So, yippee. You'll also notice that there is a gunship shooting rockets at her throughout this sequence, but they don't seem to do much. Maybe a bit. I don't know. Wasn't really counting on it. And I have a pretty heavily upgraded warp at this point, and it does not take out even a single tick of her barrier, though I believe a lot of that damage is over time. I'm not used to that. That's more of a Mass Effect 1 warp rather than a Mass Effect 2 warp, so wasn't really accustomed to that yet. I pretty much have never gotten the chance to use it because only Liara has it to begin with. But anyway, I'm trying to now get headshots on her using the Widow, and I do get, I think, 2. Boom. But certainly does not pack the punch that it did in the previous game. So now I think it's probably a good idea to get the hell out of there. So off I go. When in doubt, run like hell. And now I'm just trying to prevent her from regenerating her barrier. She does that when she's left alone for any period of time, and James just got knocked out. And you might have noticed that we have a problem. I am out of ammo. Totally and completely out of ammo, with nowhere to run. So I think, well, whatever. Maybe I can do it entirely without ammo. So now I'm closing back in, trying to get in range, looking about to see if there's ammo anywhere. I do see some on the right, but kind of afraid to run up there, really don't want to die. And I thought it'd be fun to try to kill her without using ammo, to be honest. So I'm just keeping the drone out. I'm probably going to get a turret out if I don't have one already. I resurrected James, using grenades on her, using warp on her, using incinerate on her, and just everything I have at my disposal, using carnage. Also, was really annoyed that Liara was the first party member and James was the second party member. I'm used to that being in reverse, so a lot of the time when I meant to use carnage, I use singularity. I switch the binds, and it's frustrating. But now I have ammo. There's an ammo box over there. This is one of the reasons why I was confused about ammo boxes, because I thought that they would give, that was just a victory shot, give you infinite ammo. But it seems like some do, but some don't. I actually try to get ammo over there again, and it won't give me any. So that's why in previous videos I don't run to ammo boxes, because I thought they were grenade boxes, and just replenished your grenades. Maybe they have a cooldown or something? Not totally sure. But nice, huge meat shot there. In fact, that did so much damage, that leads me to believe that Rachni actually have a weak point. Either that or the Widow just does that much damage. I don't know. But yes, and shooting these sacks on the Rachni actually releases swarmers, so it's best to not shoot those. Though I think it also is what allows them to shoot out swarmers, period. So if you remove them all, you'll have to deal with a bunch of swarmers right now. If you leave them alone, you'll have to deal with less swarmers over time. So I guess it's just kind of up to you. Once you remove the sacks, I believe they can't actually create any more. At least I think. Doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal either way. Also, I did plan on using piercing ammo more for this mission, just to see. I'm trying to figure out if it's worth using. I still would conclude that it's really only worth using if you like shooting through cover a lot of the time. I generally do not. I feel like it's an inefficient use of ammo, so I don't. But if you do, especially on lower difficulties where enemies have less health, and a 50% damage shot, or just a few of those shots will actually kill something behind cover, but for me they take so many shots that half damage, or less, depending on what level of mods you have, really isn't worthwhile. So unless there's piercing mods or shredder mods that have close to 100% damage, say 80% plus damage, I just don't really feel like it's worth it. But it's really up to you and what difficulty you play on. But just for straight up damage, I'm not really feeling like ignoring defenses is worth it. I'm thinking just pure more damage is better, just the expanded or improved rails or whatever they're called is generally better. But again, somebody would have to actually do some math, actually compare enemies, especially on Insanity, their ratio of health to just shields, barriers, armor, shields, whatever. And that person is definitely not me. But here I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stay behind this cover. Don't really see an opportunity to shoot. Think I see a barrier engine, and I believe I try to take a shot at it, but it doesn't destroy it. It definitely not getting any opportunity to actually do anything. And yes, right now I see a barrier engine, and I take a shot at it, but it doesn't destroy it. So at that point, I wasn't sure if it actually was a barrier engine. Right there. Doesn't destroy it. Pretty sure I made the shot, so I guess the Widow just doesn't one-shot those or something. Maybe I missed, but I really think I made the shot. But yes, definitely is a barrier engine, and it definitely is replenishing the barriers on these Ravagers and Harvesters. Quite the problem. So eventually I will be shooting at it again just so I can actually accomplish something. Definitely want to take that out immediately. I feel like the gunship could actually kill these things if you do. But she goes down at this point. Also, yes, I know that barrier engines are actually biotic engines. It's just a habit. One that I probably won't be able to overcome, but whatever. It's the same thing. But the big bads leave. I'm just left with this guy. Yes. The Widow definitely does very poor damage versus barriers and shields. It's really much better against armor and red bars, so something to keep in mind. Weapon has very few shots, and you do not want to waste them, and you want them all to be headshots ideally. Unless you would one-shot the enemy on a body shot anyway. Then it's just overkill, and then who cares? Beyond just flexing your E-peen. But, I mean, it's a single-player game. Who cares? Who are you competing with? So this sequence is coming to a close. We do have a unique boss to face eventually, and this boss was what the commenter who PM'd me, this is what he was having problems on, but he quickly figured it out. And I can certainly see why. This boss really isn't difficult. Let's go, let's go. Enough with the freaking Ravager.
So much sacrifice. We have to make it worth something.
Should be coming up shortly, and here we go. Kai Lang. He is essentially just a phantom with shields. He shoots out a crazy sword beam of death, and he tries to close on you. But he's very easy to deal with. Just shoot him and stay behind cover. Stay behind columns to avoid his projectiles, and just fire away. And it's especially easy mode on an engineer because he actually attempts to go after the sentry and possibly the drone, but it definitely looks like he goes after the sentry. And the drone actually even stuns him when he uses his AoE stun attack, and probably would as well if he was still equipped with his regular attack. But now he's going to shoot me with a gunship, and I die here simply because I accidentally double-clicked on my shift bar, and that's what I used to take cover, and so I hopped over the cover rather than standing behind it. So it was just a fluke death on my part. It's very easy to deal with. I will be two-shotting it. And you don't die instantly, even on Insanity, from the gunship, so you can just get a shot or two off on him when you have to take cover. And I get a few energy drains off as well. But all in all, very easy to deal with. Even if he was closing on me, I could easily avoid his projectiles by just strafing around these columns. And if he gets close, just sprint away. He does, like, backflips and weird dancing moves, apparently. Like, he's really slow. It's really not hard to deal with. Oh no. So there you go. I just do a quick energy drain on him just to keep his shields down to an extent. It would be even easier, and he also cloaks randomly. And then, like, auto-closes, but again, just run away. It'd be even easier if you were using a party member with overload like Garrus or Tally with her energy drain instead of James. So I'm even doing this fairly aggressively. I'm really not afraid of him at this point. I know what he's going to do, so I'm actually getting closer to him. Eventually I will run away just to be absolutely sure, because I'm sure he will pretty much one-shot me if he gets the chance. And again, quick energy drain. Not a big deal. And I'm being shot, but not worried. Energy drain. Ow. And I could have dodged that if I ducked down to cover faster. I think I was a little blinded by the light in the background. Don't know. Probably just stupid. What usually happens. And try to aim for headshots if you can, but it doesn't really matter. I'm running out of ammo at this point, which is a bit of a concern because I'm not sure what else comes after this. I'm not sure if he has multiple phases, if his red bar is really meaty, but I do still have some ammo in the Widow, so I'm going to now try to just get some headshots off on him. Don't want to waste no-scope shots, have no idea what this thing's spread is when it's not scoped. I'll be testing that later. And that's it. He doesn't have two phases. You don't even have to totally drain his shields. That's it. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll be doing some target practice videos next.